For my lamb rogan Josh, I'm using some lamb shank, which I have on the side here. It's been nicely chopped up for me. I finally chopped up some onions, which I'm going to braise off very, very slowly in a light butter, a ghee, which is basically a clarified butter, which I'm going to mix in with this beautiful leaf masala mixture. It's a one spice all mix which we got from Atlas, which is an awesome spice and trading store. After all that's amalgamated together, I'm going to add in some plain yogurt. Now this yogurt is going to help me out later on into bringing it all together and drawing it down to a nice good consistency for a curry. I'm going to add in some of these carrots, just for a bit of color and a bit of texture, but I'm going to add them at the end, not right really at the beginning. I'm going to let the meat cook down nice until it's soft, and then we want a nice crunch of a vegetable at the end. And to top it all together and to bring it up, I'm going to add in some finely chopped coriander. Start off now by melting down my butter and creating that ghee, which is basically an almost burnt butter. You clarify about the butter by removing the top layers off, and then the butter goes brown, almost what we call the burn rosette stage, and you can really smell the nutty flavor. So I've added in my garlic. I'm slowly braising off my onions, my garlics, and my leeks now. This is going to be basically the foundation of flavor. You can just smell those garlics cooking off now. I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning of salt and pepper at the beginning, and then soon after this we're going to put in our curry mixture. I've got around about 2 tablespoons, give or take a few, depending on how your palate is inside it. You want a nice real good coat. As soon as it goes in, now by doing this, what you're doing now in the heat is you're allowing the onions to soak up all of that and cook with it together. See that beautiful color? It already smells like a curry. Okay, I think it's time now. We can put in our meats. Our onions are slowly braising off. I want to add this meat in and just get a bit of color onto it. And the more color I give it, it'll also give color onto the yogurt later on, and we won't have a very pale kind of curry. We'll have a nice deep brown rich curry. So you actually want to hear a little bit of a sizzle when you put it in. It's not too hot, it will drop in temperature. Okay, I'm going to let my meat brown off a little bit now, just to get a bit of color. I'm going to turn it around a little bit, and then I'm going to add in my yogurt after that. Now remember, we said we wanted to add things in bit by bit so that they all come together at a stage. So now the meat's coming together with the onions and the rest of the mixture. Later on we're going to put in our yogurt just to bring it all together as well. After that we're going to add in our stock water, which has been going on. Let that all reduce, cook the meat in, cook it really down until it's nice and saucy consistency, and at the end we'll add in our carrots. It's now for our fourth step, adding in the yogurt. I see that our meat's got a nice golden brown color towards it. I'm going to add in this yogurt, let it sit for a second, also let it draw in. See that beautiful color that I was talking about earlier on, how when I added in that white yogurt, it's just totally turned into a nice browny, rich, creamy color. So that's the yogurt, once it's reducing with the stock water, is also going to help bring it together and won't be a very watery kind of curry. The average coffee drinking cup is 250 ml, so you can always use that as a point of reference when you're making anything. Okay, so I've got 2.5 cups of my stock water inside there. Now this is the stage we're going to bring it up to boil, let it excite all those flavors, and then once it's boiled, turn the temperature down, and then let it all simmer into a nice saucy consistency. Halfway through the simmering stage, I'm going to add in my chopped potatoes, my small diced potatoes, and then right towards the end, I'm going to add in my carrots as well. curry is halfway through its cooking process, so I'm going to put in our diced potatoes. Halfway through this cooking process, towards the end, I'm going to add in the carrots, let that all come in together. This liquid should have reduced down into like a saucy consistency, so I can't wait to taste like curry later. Potatoes have been inside the pot now for about 15-20 minutes and they're getting to a nice soft stage. I'm going to add in my carrots. These, like I said earlier on, they're going right towards the end because they'll take lesser time to cook and I still want to retain a bit of a crunch in them too. Okay, and I'll add to a nice vibrant color against that brown. We've got our carrots in. Our carrots shouldn't take longer than 5 minutes to cook and to be nice. You want them nice and al dente. By the time the carrots are done, right at the end, you can check your seasoning again. Remember, you check your seasoning at every single stage when you add something in. So like now, I'll taste it, check my seasoning, and right towards the end, I'll add in my fresh herbs, more seasoning, and let it simmer a little bit, and it'll be bombs your uncle. I'll be done. That's awesome for me. I've reduced my temperature down now. Well, I've actually turned it off. I'm gonna add in my herbs. Straight after these go in, like this. I'm not even going to stir it up because I want those herbs just to steam up a little bit and then close it up. Just like that. Get the lid. Close it up. It's off the heat. Excite those a little bit, and just before I serve it, I'm gonna stir it up. Stir it up. So you're still keeping the herbs nice and fresh, but you've excited them enough by adding all that heat to release their flavors. There we go. Now that's what I was talking about. You've excited all those flavors with the heat, and now we're just letting it mix in. And you should really ideally serve right now, while it's still hot, while it's still smelling of all those herbs you've added in, whether it's coriander or it's parsley. This is the time where you should be serving it. And there we go. It's my version of what we've learned today in making some lamb curry on the bone. We've used lamb shank. And I think my guests are going to enjoy it tonight. Okay, so it's still nice, warm and fresh. My guests are waiting outside. They're expecting a nice, amazing curry, full of flavor. That's exactly what I'm going to serve them.